You're listening to Gigi Radio,
the one and only Christian radio show for teen girls.
with your hosts, Esther and Steph. Good morning, girls. It's Esther here. Happy Thursday.
Hey girls, and it's Steph. Okay, so question. I don't know what high school is like now, high school art, but do you still do still life?
I work at a high school, and
Do they still do still life?
they do some sort of it's different than the way we used to do it, but still
Fruits
kind of.
in a bowl, a jug in the middle of the room you had to copy.
Oh my goodness, a nightmare for someone who can draw like me. Not even a stick picture.
It's true, girls. She can't.
No, that was challenging.
Actually, I should say she couldn't.
Oh yeah, I'm learning.
She's had a COVID discovery.
So let me tell you what happened. Steph has always been the artist. Like, she's artsy. She can sew. I can't even put a button together, but you can sew. You've made dresses and skirts.
Yeah, but that was under that was being taught. Like, I can't do it by myself as...
She's being modest. Maybe she can't, but I can't even do it under someone's guidance. And if I look at a pattern, for me, it looks in a different language. I can't get my head around it. Anyways, so what happens, Steph has always been this artsy drawing and all that kind of, creative human being. And I have been more the writer and more the thinker, the reader, the bookworm. And during COVID last year, when the churches closed, I was going nuts. Like, because with the ministry, we have a kids podcast. And we do stories for kids on our podcast. And it's really cute. And so churches invite us to go...
To do kids' stories,
to do the kids' story. And Steph takes all her sounds in an iPad anyways. So all those months were cancelled because, we couldn't go because of COVID. So I was so bored. And I did tune into church, but it was boring. Like, I needed to be around people and in the church community. For me, it was really tough. And even for Steph, like, we found it tough.
No.
So what I decided to do is we finally found an online church that we connected to so well. They were amazing, and they were in Adelaide.
Yes.
And we love their programs. So I grabbed a book and I started drawing just because I've always admired artists. And I drool over all this artwork that I couldn't do. And I grabbed a piece of paper, a book, and I started copying like leaves.
It was leaves, and it was like little plants, like lavender.
Yeah. And I told you, the first day I did my drawing, I had a migraine because I was using another part of my brain. And then it's taken me a year to actually progress slowly, and I am loving it.
Girls, it looks so cute. And she's also progressed to watercolors. And it looks amazing. Like, I want you to paint me something.
Imagine.
And I'm the artsy one. I haven't touched a brush or anything in years. Like, I don't know.
But you have been reading more. So we kind of swapped.
We have. And I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist when it comes to my work. And I'm really critical. So I need to make sure my work is perfect.
Yeah, she wants to be perfect, but I'm learning that you have your own creative style, apparently. Yeah. And so I've progressed for the last year to watercolors, and I'm really enjoying it. So it might look crooked. I said to Steph, my crooked little paintings, but I'm enjoying it.
And it's so nice. But no, I'm going to have to start doing something and be less critical.
Yes, and just let it flow. Yeah. Okay, so
why painting and art today? What are we talking about?
Well, today we're talking about a very famous artist.
Yes.
And a very famous painting.
Yes. So Mr. Leonardo da Vinci. So you would have heard it, maybe. Hopefully, girls would have heard it.
Yes,
yeah.
You do.
So he's done amazing work, but the one we're concentrating on is a very special one in particular.
I think it's the Last Supper.
Yeah, it's called The Last Supper. And I'll get you to, after the episode, Google it so you can have a look at it, because you're going to be curious after you read the devotional. So let's get into that. And we'll get started. Today's devotional is written by Nancy Beck Ireland and Peter Beck. Total opposites. When Leonardo da Vinci was painting his masterpiece, The Last Supper, he searched carefully for a man whose face must closely resemble his vision of what Jesus must have looked like. At last he chose a man by the name of Pietro Bandinelli, a chorister with the Milan Cathedral. Day after day, Pietri sat for Da Vinci, not moving a muscle, staring at one spot on the wall so that the great artist could get every detail perfectly, from the shadows on his face to the folds of his garment. When the artist had finished painting the figure of Jesus, he paid Pietri for his time, excused him, and began searching for other models for the disciples. The searching and painting went on for several years. At last, there was just one character left to paint, the figure of Judas. Da Vinci again went out into the streets to find a model for Judas, searching each face he passed, looking for someone who most resembled this twisted betrayer. At last he saw a man shuffling along the streets of Rome, with shoulders bent toward the ground, an expression of cold evilness on his face. Da Vinci introduced himself and asked the man if he would mind earning a little money as a model. The man nodded brusquely as Da Vinci gave him the address for his studio. The morning he arrived at the studio, the man took his place on the appointed stool and began to look around, as if recalling events of days gone by. Finally, he turned, and with a look that told how hard it was to realize the change that had taken place, he said, "Maestro, I was in this studio 25 years ago. I then sat for Christ." What a wasted life. Poor decisions had aged the man, taken away his purity and self-confidence. The sadness and remorse stooped his shoulders and changed his image entirely. How important it is to choose carefully. Your future happiness is under your control.
Oh, that is incredible. So the same boy or guy that had sat to play Jesus was now
Judas.
The same. Wow, that is mind-blowing and such a difference.
And that's why I think it's called total opposite. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my goodness. And I also couldn't believe the fact that this painting took 25 years or more. He's had there 25 years before, then I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm impatient. Yeah. I want things done today and painted today.
25 years later.
But we'll talk more, girls, after the break. We're going to listen to the song Together by For King and Country.
This is for the busted hearts. This is for the question mark. This is for the outcast soul, lost control, no one knows. Sing it for the can't go back. Sing it for the broken past. Sing it for the just found out life is now upside down. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting in the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. And if we fall, we will fall together. Together. This is for the second chance. This is for the new romance. Sing it for the loved in vain. Overcame, it's not too late. If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you're feeling alone and don't understand, if you're fighting in the fight of your life, then stand. We're gonna make it through this hand in hand. If we fall, we will fall together. Together. And when we rise, we will rise together. Together. We will rise together. We will rise together.
If you're looking for hope tonight, if you're feeling alone tonight, if you're in the fight of your life, we're gonna make it hand in hand. I will be by your side, 'cause love is in the air tonight. I'll help you see the light.
together. If we fall, we will fall together. Together. And when we rise, we will rise together. Together. If we fall, we will fall together. 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 And when we rise, we will rise together. Together. Show us how to rise above. Show us how to live with love. Could it be we're better when we are together?
So the devotional shows us and illustrates the choices we make actually impact our lives.
You don't think about it, but little things do make a big difference.
And also, girls, as you get older, you will be faced with things like, drinking, alcohol, drugs, sex. All of that are going to be more pressure as you get older. And this is a time where you have to stand firm in God and make a decision if you are going to live your life pure, and if you're going to live your life for God, or you're going to live your life like this guy who had completely ruined it. And the only way that you can stand those temptations when they come is through prayer and through communication with Him, with the Lord.
And it isn't easy, girls, and you're going to be ridiculed or people are going to make fun of you, but you need to be prepared to say, well, you know what? I know I'm not doing this because it is the best choice. I don't want to ruin my life.
That's right. So in 10 years' time, you don't want to look back and say, I'm a total opposite to who I was.
Yeah.
The only way that could happen is if you don't not leading a great life now and you change it for God because He's restored you, then you want to look back and be a total opposite to that. So today's question says, is it okay to take sexy pictures of myself and send them to my boyfriend? Ooh, this is an interesting one as well. We've been getting great questions this month, girls. Okay, so let's see what Danny has to say on this one.
Is it okay to take sexy pictures of myself and send them to my boyfriend? Well, I guess I'd have a few questions about that one. I mean, why do you feel the need to do that? Is it something he's asked you to do? Is it something your friends are all doing? And has this boy actually earned your love? Is he committed to God and your best interests? Let me explain why. I actually know of some situations firsthand where a girl was in love in a committed relationship for quite a long time, and she sent some sexy pictures and also some nude images to her boyfriend, feeling like it was all private and innocent. And yet within a few months they broke up, and she was just devastated because she'd compromised herself, and these photos ended up not only being sent to a bunch of their friends but also plastered all over the internet. Her grandparents even saw them. Now ask yourself, would you be comfortable with risking that? Because once those kinds of images are up there, there's no coming back from that. I mean, can you imagine your parents, future employers, even your future kids Googling your name and having those images come up? And does your boyfriend even care about that risk to you? Has he even thought about it, or only about his own desires? The thing I'd encourage you to remember in this is that you are not cheap. You are a precious daughter of God who is fearfully and wonderfully made. And the right man for you will want to see you protected, not exposed. He'll commit to you for life, not for some cheap snapshots. And that right man won't expect you to compromise yourself or to allure him or convince him to be with you. You're beautiful, and I just encourage you to hold on to that beauty because it's very sacred.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Danny.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny. Now let's get ready for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving us another day. We ask that you help us make the right choices today, that we stand firm, and that you help us, Lord, be someone to be proud of, someone that is going to make a difference, and that you sustain us and hold us. Thank you so much for everything, and we ask you to be with our family and friends today. In your name, amen. This has been Gigi Radio signing out.